Nine of Swords, upright. Either way you look at it, this isn't a good card. Basically, our keywords now are anxiety, guilt, megrim, tormenting thoughts, recurring nightmares, and absolute terror. In an earth-based reading, this can indicate worry over the security of your finances or maybe even your job. You could be feeling a regret or fear that something terrible is going to happen because of hearsay or because of fact. There is also a chance here that you could be worried about something you've done wrong or right that could cost you. In an air-based reading, the Nine of Swords means that you will be in contact with somebody who is definitely not in a state of perfect mental health. This person could be suffering severe anxiety attacks, panic, as well as concern over the physical health of themselves and other people. They could be losing sleep, they could be deciding to act out in rash, weird, unpredictable ways just because they're in a state of crisis. In a fire reading with challenge, we do have the Nine of Swords showing you that, yes, there is a crisis going on here. Now we have to find out how to problem solve. The Nine of Swords upright shows that you are in a case where you are panicking and you are failing to actually act on the good impulses and the bad impulses. Timeliness is becoming an issue, and you need to make sure you can minimize your distractions and identify your triggers. In an emotions readings with water, the Nine of Swords upright means fear and loathing, in a sense. If this is for a single person, this could indicate a radical attachment to the fear of dying alone or the desperate need to be loved or feel love at this moment in time. This could lead to a situation that could cause a lot of regrets and painful mistakes. Best not to do anything at this point in time. For couples, this can show where one partner is having a really hard time either with other aspects of their life or the relationship. Either way, it's becoming infectious. This needs to be nipped in the bud right now. Both partners need to sit down and think about how they're actually going to manage this calmly and objectively. Your spiritual advice, the Nine of Swords upright. Crisis has hit you. It may or may not have manifested as a full-blown crisis right now, but it's on the way. What you need to do at this moment in time is slow down and think it out. The reasons crises manifest, and they can happen to everybody, is a lack of familiarity or development of problem-solving abilities. You need to make sure that you know how to cope or find somebody who can help you cope. There is no reason for you to do anything rash or do anything random. Trusting to luck or acting like a quote-unquote free spirit is only going to get you in more trouble at this point in time. You can't ignore your problems, but you don't have to be afraid of them either. Reversed. The Nine of Swords reversed is a tricky one. It still indicates anxiety and crazy and all that kind of fun stuff, but at the same time, it does show that these problems might not actually manifest in the first place. In short, it's all in your head. In an earth-based reading, this can show somebody who's, again, acting a bit out of sorts, panicking, feeling a bit anxious and worried, but it's not as severe, and it might not even come to pass. This person could be worrying or fearful over nothing. In an air-based reading, you might have to deal with a bit of a drama queen. This shows that somebody is definitely bending themselves out of shape with the thoughts that they have in their own head. They might not have actually had a conversation with anyone that could have upset them. But the plans that they've made when no one was around are starting to fall apart, and they have no idea why. So this is a crisis, but it's not a crisis that is actually here to be dealt with. As a challenge, the Nine of Swords reversed basically says, know when something really happened, and know when you're simply distracting yourself by anticipating the worst. Expecting the worst and preparing for the worst doesn't mean making sure it happens or going out of your way to act like it already has. In a water-based reading, with your emotions, the Nine of Swords reversed shows that somebody in a relationship could be making problems where they don't exist. Somebody could be acting out, going crazy, maybe they want drama. And there's another thing with the Nine of Swords reversed. You know what kind of movies make people think that drama makes a romance? Well, this is the kind of situation that doesn't need to happen. This could create a dysfunctional relationship. For those people who are single, they might find somebody who they might think is batshit crazy because they have a lot of problems in the real world. Turns out they're probably just making it up. Your spiritual advice, the Nine of Swords reversed means if it's not broken, you don't have to fix it. And just because it's the wrong color doesn't mean it's broken. There are plenty of things you can do to make yourself feel at ease, so why don't you go take care of that? If you're stressed out, make sure that stress is not displaced, and don't take it out on the most vulnerable target. Make sure that your stress is adequately dealt with the people